you guys have a relationship?
We were in a relationship, yeah.
No, we were never in a relationship by any means.
He calls me, he's like, well, I gotta tell you something, and I'm scared. And I was like, okay.
I can't imagine how I make this look good for you.
She's taking advantage of a lot of people that I know.
She freaked out, went crazy, told us, get out of here.
There was like lemons on the driveway, and I went in and they had been doing tequila shots.
Plaintiff Samantha Waibel thought she'd found love. Instead, she says she found a lout who drove off with $4,500 of her hard-earned dollars. Defendant, Michael Johnson, says they were never a thing and that he planned to pay her back until she started acting like a brat. Now, he says he owes her nothing.
I do.
Good afternoon.
Case 47 on the docket, Waibel versus Johnson.
Okay. The plaintiff, Ms. Waibel, you are suing the defendant, Mr. Johnson,
Yes, sir.
in the amount of $4,500 for money owed. Let's find out what's going on. Yes,
So,
tell me your
in
case.
the course of our relationship from June to October, I had loaned the defendant
you,
$45.
you guys have a relationship?
We were in a relationship, yes.
If you don't mind me
Sorry.
asking, how old are you?
I'm 20.
You're 20 years old, and
Yes.
you are
30. 31.
31.
Yeah.
Okay. So now what happened?
So when we first started dealing with each other in the beginning of June, his ex, he was still having issues with her. She had got his truck repossessed, and I felt bad because he's got 4 children to provide for. You know, he was unable to work because he's got his own business. So I lent him $1,500 to get a new truck. At the time, I was very financially stable, a little more well-off than he was, and I took it out of the kindness of my heart to, you know, help him out, because not only were we good friends, I mean, like I said, we started dealing with each other on more of an intimate
And
level.
the $1,500 loan was for what?
For a new truck, for him to be able to go back and forth to work and provide for him and his children.
Yes.
I went on vacation in July, and before I had left for vacation, I gave him $3,000 so he could go purchase me a car. I trusted him as somebody who knew a lot about cars. He works on cars. So I took it to, hey, can you take this $3,000 plus the $1,500 you owe me and buy me a car, because I was getting my license soon. He calls me while I'm on vacation. It was my last 2 days, and is like, hey, yeah, like, I love you, I appreciate you, thank you for everything you do. And I'm like, okay, you're welcome, like, what's going on? He's like, well, I gotta tell you something, and I'm scared. And I'm like, well, what's going on? He tells me he bought a car. Not only did he buy a car, but he did not buy a car for me, he bought a car for himself with my money. And I was like, okay. And he's like, well, you know, you don't have your license yet. By the time you get your license, we'll deal the money out, and I'll make sure you have a car when you have your license. Because meanwhile, this was like first week of July. I didn't get my license until August 18th. So he's like, look, I'll make sure you have money and a car and everything when you get your license.
I can't imagine how I make this look good for you. There's no possible explanation.
Well, it's definitely
But tell me, prove me wrong.
Long story short, she was in a place where I needed at that time because of that situation. And she said, okay, I can do this. I said, well, you know what? No, I'm cool. I can get it from somewhere else. I have other sources. No, I got it. I can do this. No, let me do it. I'm a grown woman. I can handle this. I can be there for you. I don't need that from you right now. I got a situation I need to handle. And I can, well, don't go that way. I can give it to you. I can do it. Insisting.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
I cared about this man. I grew to love him.
You loved him.
Yes, I did.
She's not a little kid. She's not just a 20-year-old that's just running around. She takes care of things. She handles her business, so I'm not going to take that from her. At the end of the day, that's the reason I was even having some type of friendship, because she's not a kid. At the end of the day, I was in a situation that I needed help. The same way I've given plenty of money away, I needed help at that time. She was able to help me. Point blank, period. I'm not saying, okay, this is wrong. Look, I needed help at that time. I had other sources. She was able to give it to me right then and there, so I could take care of what needed to be taken care of.
You bought a car for yourself.
We're talking about 2 different situations. We're talking about the $1,500.
Yeah.
Right?
And then the $3,000.
Exactly. So the $1,500 was returned to her. The $1,500 was returned to her when I dropped her bag off. When I didn't talk to her.
Did you get the $1,500?
I swear to God, on everything I love,
talk to her,
this man.
When I didn't when
Let
I
her
didn't
hear.
talk
She's
to her,
saying she didn't get $1,500 back.
I know when I dropped it off, because I didn't see her for a long period of time.
This man.
The reason everything stopped is because she became very belligerent, started cursing, getting out of control. I said, check this out. Any agreement that I will say, I will look out, make sure you get your stuff together. When you're coming at me and you're doing this and you're getting out of control, now you're acting 20, check this out. This we can do. We can go to court.
It's $1,500 and $3,000.
Yes.
On the $1,500, you said you paid her back.
I gave her the $1,500 in her bag that I dropped off to her because she wanted me. She was trying to get
$1,500 in a bag that you dropped off.
It was her personal bag I had.
Everything I love.
And this is my witness here. I had her personal bag.
What about the $3,000?
The $3,000 I never gave. I didn't give her that. That's when she started getting crazy. So
you
being
kept the money
disrespectful.
disrespectful. She gave you
No.
$3,000.
It's so much more. At the end of the day, I didn't give her the $3,000. I gave her the $15,000.
Yeah.
The $3,000 once she started getting ignorant, once she started getting belligerent, once she started getting out of character. Again, she's 20 and she's a white young lady. I'm not putting myself in a situation. You can take me to court. We can deal with this thing. But the agreement was, after the car was purchased, what do you want me to do? I purchased the car. I can get the money back. No, don't worry about it.
Purchased the car. A 745 BMW out of all cars.
Listen to me.
He purchases a BMW with my money.
Listen to me. Again, I'm not denying. Can we clear that up?
I know you're not denying it. I'm wondering
that's
why you
irrelevant
did
at this
it.
point. What I'm saying is, once it was done, I talked to her about the situation. Okay, well, I can do this. I can flip this. I can get this for you. I'll write you a check in court.
All right,
I'll give you a choice.
I'll tell you what. We are now in court. I want to tell you something. And this is free advice that may be worth exactly that, nothing. But particularly at your age, when you're giving that kind of money, which most people would think, you know, unless this is someone you're married to or whatever, at some level, you're convincing yourself that, boy, he's really going to love me back. This kind of cements it. You may not even be saying that to yourself, but inside you're thinking, I'm being so good to him. I'm being so generous to him. I'm not giving particular conditions. I'm just saying, he's trying to talk me out of it. I'm going, no. He will see how much you love him, and that's going to make him love you back. And you, even if you never said to her, I love you and we're going to be together one day, and even if none of that happened, even if I take every word you say as gospel, you still must know, even against her knowledge, that she is being manipulated by you accepting the money. You will see when you get older that this is wrong. And certainly, I'm not going to take the money that you gave me and now turn around and get myself a car? Well, I'll tell you what, the plaintiff, I find for you $4,500.
There was a lot of miscommunication and lies told in somebody's testimony, but I'm glad I got my money.
Somebody, it's only me.
You, Michael, and you know you're a liar. You know you lied. Anyways, I'm glad about the verdict and that I got my money back and we're done with this.
Plaintiff Ronnie Prince claims the defendant didn't pay him for doing a bathroom renovation job, so he's suing for $1,500. Defendant Diane Lockhart claims the plaintiff botched the job and left her living like a pioneer woman. She's countersuing for $600.
Case number 67 on the docket, Prince versus Lockhart.
Okay, and welcome to all of you. Let's see what we have here. We have the plaintiff, Mr. Prince.
Yes, sir.
And you are suing the defendant, Ms. Lockhart, in the amount of $1,500 for an unpaid bathroom renovation bill.
Correct.
And the defendant, you are countersuing in the amount of $600 for overpayment of original work and the cost of repairs.
That's right, Your Honor.
She asked you to renovate the bathroom.
Yes, sir.
And what was the price that you gave her that it would cost to
$1,980, including tax.
$1,980, including taxes to fix it. Do we have a copy of that
Yes, sir.
May I see that?
Yes, sir.
I just want to let you know that I never had received a copy of that estimate at any time during the work that he was doing. It only became until the end. He only told me verbally. I never knew what was on that, but I've seen one of that copy since then.
She's the kind of client that I don't deal with all the time. She's through a friend of a friend, and she's taken advantage of a lot of people that I know. So I was kind of scared to work with her, but it was kind of through the Thanksgiving, Christmas time for contractors. That's like the slow part.
That's what you are, you're a contractor?
Yes, sir. And that's the slow part.
Have you done bathrooms before?
Of course, I've been doing it for 23 years.
Okay, yeah, I just want to establish that. Okay, so we've established that was the original price. Okay, now you can talk.
Since we were, acquaintances, I've known him for close to a decade, and it was during the holidays. I knew that I had to get my bathroom remodeled. I had set some money aside for that. So I called him up and asked, are you busy? Is this something that you would be open to doing? We had a conversation, and he said yes, but I don't have a vehicle anymore to do this. I have my truck, but it needs to be registered, and I need to, get that running. So I upfront paid him $350. I deposited into his account so that he could get that truck running to come and visit me. And so he came out and saw the job, did the demo. Yes, he said he was going out of town and he would call me when he got back, but that he was going to send the plumber by, and that was the plumber that came.
He did some plumbing work and
you are?
I'm just a friend of his that I work with him on occasions. He calls me when he needs plumbing work done.
subcontract, yeah.
You can sit down.
Basically, we did tile on her floor, tile around her bathtub.
And I paid him $400 in cash to do the work. He called me and said, it'll be $1,800 for all the work that I talked to you about.
Right.
And I was caught off guard because I felt like it was too much for what I have is just a mobile home, a 7 by 10 foot bathroom in a mobile home. With that, I said, well, I can't really afford all that, especially if I'm buying all the supplies. And he said, well, I'll give you a $250 discount on that price. So that made it $1,550.
Based on your complaint, he is saying right up front that you did pay a total of $1,300.
Yes, sir.
That you paid $350 twice and then $600. Is
No,
that
Your
what
Honor, I
you have?
paid $1,550 total, and I had the evidence here. Because at the end, he was pressuring me, hey, I need money, I need money. And I just took the money and made a deposit that I had at the bank that day, and it was actually $50 over what we had agreed upon.
But there was tons of additional work that she added.
Just to do it right, that's constant
Tools
work
that
added.
tools that were
Asking to do it
stolen,
right.
tools that were stolen on the job from her.
I didn't steal any tools.
She sabotaged the bathtub. We were gonna just refinish it by basically spraying it and doing a refinish on it. And
Yeah.
she put 2 holes in it.
That way you would replace the bathtub.
Exactly. That's what it
you're
kind of.
implying. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So you agreed to go $250 off the bid.
Yes, sir, Your
Okay,
Honor.
all right. So we are down to the $1,550. Okay, that's where the dollars are. What is your complaint with the work done? You're not happy with the result?
Not at all, Your Honor.
Then tell me
Wouldn't
why,
you expect
and then
that
I'll let
if
him talk, but
you
we'll-
have a bathtub installed that you could turn on the water and that the water would come out hot or cold? All it comes out is cold, and plus when you first turn it on, brown water comes out.
Okay,
If I
that
can
could be
put something in right here. The reason she can't get hot water is because it needs to be
Little mixer
adjusted.
valve, that's
when
all it is.
when I put the shower in after we put the bathtub, we spent a whole day putting that bathtub in. That's at least for my business. That's at least $1,000 put in the bathtub.
Okay.
We put the bathtub in, got it all done. I got the shower, and well, he was doing the tile around the shower. So I could not test that shower at all. So I left it. We were going to come back, and that's when everything started. She
went
freaked out,
crazy.
went crazy,
She's all
told us, get out of here,
true.
and everything. So
right,
that's
so
the
what I
reason she
want-
can't get no hot water. It needs to be just adjusted.
Okay. Is
I've
it-
adjusted it. I've tried to adjust it. It won't get hot.
Okay, you mean on your bathtub you can't get hot water?
That's correct.
Okay,
I'm like a
there's an issue.
pioneer woman. I have to carry buckets from my stove.
Do we have a video of,
Yeah, I made these for the court to show you.
that's you?
Yeah, waiting for water to be boiled every day. It takes me about an hour and a half to fill up my tub. This has been 4 months. I can't just go and take a bath regularly. I have to plan it.
Okay.
The toilet wiggles, and whenever you sit on it, it's like a rocking chair.
You were wiggling, the toilet wasn't.
You said you would come back to
Yes,
adjust
sir.
it and
She
fix
wouldn't
it.
let us.
What he said was that I'm not going to drive that far. These are little things. Why don't you quit bothering me with this? There's caulk
That's a lie.
that's missing
That's a lie, Your
in
Honor. She
certain
told us not
areas
to ever
of the
come back.
bathtub.
And Your Honor, it's just a simple matter of pulling off the handle, and there's a little thing in there that has adjustment. You pull it out and turn it.
I've done that. It's a plastic thing you can turn, and it won't get any hotter.
I'm
and it's
being-
like I need 2 hands to turn
I'm
it
being
on.
fair for what I'm asking, Your Honor.
In your countersuit, you are asking them to pay $550 for you to hire someone else to do it when they're saying they could come over to the house and fix it.
She said we weren't allowed on her property anymore. She got all weird on us the last day. I mean, it
This
was
is
just.
why I got all weird. I mean, there were times where I was gone and I came back and there was like lemons on the driveway. I'm like, what's up with that? I mean, I may be, disorganized, but I
That's a
see
lie, Your
details.
Honor.
And I went in and they had
All
been
right.
doing
Flat out
tequila
lie.
shots.
I
Eating
don't drink.
sandwiches out
Okay,
of my
here's
refrigerator.
the thing I want to know. Okay, I can't rule on the lemons.
I don't want them
She
back
was
in
the
my
one who was
house when
drunk
they're doing
that
this.
night.
I don't want to rule on lemons. The issue, if you would just explain it as someone walking by, they were hired to do a job. The end of the job you weren't satisfied with. Primarily, the big issue is you can't get the hot water on.
And secondarily, also there's grout that's missing. So if there were to, turn on the
I
shower
fixed that,
brightly.
Your Honor.
Do you want them to come back and make sure the hot water turns on? In other words, what do you do
I mean,
now?
of course I want hot water on, but
Okay.
let me ask you, Judge, if there's a lot more than just the water. There's been tiles that have been messed up. There's like cursing and rude jokes. Would you want people like that back in your house to even attempt to try
That's
to...
a lie,
lie
Your
as
Honor.
well.
How do I know who said what when? I understand you're not happy with the result. You have already been paid.
Not in full.
Maybe not in full. I'm not going to make them pay for you making the decision, which you asked me. Would I want, if you're not happy with them in the house, for whatever reason, you don't have to hire them. But if you're going to make a decision to hire someone else to fix up something, I'm not going to have them pay you so you can hire someone else. What I want to know is the extra materials that you bought
Spent out of my
specifically
pocket.
for that job. Is
Right.
that what the $390 is for?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Now, who has those?
Dump fee.
Who has those materials?
All the materials are installed at her place.
And I think we're
He's
moving.
asking for dump fees, and it's already listed on that main estimate.
Everything's highlighted, Your Honor. One's my business.
Taking
the other
to
one-
the dump is something that was in the amount you were paid for.
Yes, sir.
So that's not extra.
Okay. Well, it'll be just the one packet that's highlighted and not the other.
I went to Home Depot every day. I have that receipt that shows that I
Yeah,
bought all the
Receipts.
materials.
I have bank statements of that stuff. I mean,
Sure.
that I
Well,
spent out of my
I can
pocket.
see
She didn't
what-
pay me.
I said I would pay for the supplies
Stop.
from my credit card
Stop.
because that was the fee. I'm not
All
going to
right.
stop. I'm talking to the judge, not to you.
Quit looking at me.
You know,
Okay.
Terry, I overpaid him as well, Judge, and I wanted to know.
Well, okay. I understand they're unhappy. I understand you're
yeah,
unhappy.
it was very poor work.
And and you're not going to hire them again. This is a bad experience for both of you.
Yes, sir.
I understand that. I didn't want you to be out of pocket if she bought the tub.
I
The
am.
fact that you did some work that, well, sometimes you get a great job and everything works well, and
Okay.
sometimes you have a job where you lose money, and sometimes working for friends or working for acquaintances.
Exactly.
That's the reason people say normally that's not a good way to go. So, on your suit for $1,500, I am finding for the plaintiff $150. Your countersuit dismissed.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I just think that she totally took advantage of me. And
I think that the judge saw that, I had paid for the work that was done. It's unfortunate that there's still some things that are poor work.
Thanks for watching. Now please approach the bench. The way I look at it, you have two options here. Option A, watch more Judge Jerry. Option B, watch more Jerry Springer. The choice is yours. Now get out of my courtroom. You have more clips to watch. And don't forget to subscribe.